Hi, I'm Kit Cassingham with Live in Focused Energy. I recently wrote an article about finally learning my parents' lesson, their lesson of a long life, of longevity. Longevity is a matching, well, I think of it as matching lifespan and health span, but you and I both know that people can live a long time without having good health or good life in the sense of attitude and heart. Age is a mindset. It's the attitude you have about your life, the world around you. And there's so many ways that you can engage in life. And that's part of the key right there, engagement. It's how you nurture your heart with friends and family, how you nurture your brain with learning and stretching your horizons. I walked the Camino de Santiago several years ago and was enthralled with one of the pilgrims who was walking in my cluster of my Camino family, I call them. 80 years old. And this was his second or third time for walking the Camino. And I suspect not his last. And he walked it a little slower than the 20 somethings did, but he was walking it every day. And for the most part, keeping up with me. It wasn't a race, it was just an observation. And 2 years ago, I heard about a woman at the age of 93 who walked the Camino. Talk about a young woman. She had a smile on her face at all times, always something warm and pleasant to say. And I think that's part of a good life is to have a positive attitude. Frail woman, bad osteoporosis. Her daughter was concerned that she was doing it, but the Camino provided. And this isn't a talk about the Camino, it's a talk about longevity, about how you live a good life. When Gladys would approach a town, people would see her coming, or the word would get to them, and they would pour out of the cafes and bars to greet her. And along the Camino, bars are where we ate food more often than we drank liquor. Um, but those were some of the places we would commune, and they would pour out and they would embrace her and bring her in, hear her stories, share their stories. And it was, I never got to meet her. She's over in Boulder, so I should strive to do that sometime. But she didn't let her osteoporosis stop her from loving life and walking this 500 miles, essentially on her own, though you're never alone when you're on the Camino. But the lesson my parents taught me was to stay active, engaged in community, dance lessons, and I share this in my article, so I won't repeat that here. But it's the engagement. But the one thing that they missed that I think would have made a difference in their lives was that they didn't they didn't stay emotionally engaged with each other, with themselves. And I think that's really critical. Emotions have a message for you, so you need to listen to it. You need to process the emotions, especially the uncomfortable ones. The uncomfortable emotions have a message for you. You need to process it for the sake of your physical health, your mental health, emotional health, probably your spiritual health as well. It's that engagement and connection and emotional intelligence that helps you live a good life. We're going to live longer than we have historically. Science and medicine are helping that. And we have access to better foods and better medical care. And when we take advantage of both of those things and process our emotions, there's nothing that says that we necessarily can't live into our late 90s, into our hundreds. Yes, there can be some genetic issues, and that's the loaded gun. But your lifestyle, your attitude, your emotions, that is what pulls the trigger to a shortened lifespan. So I'm all about processing the emotions, adjusting that attitude so that it's youthful. When I was 30, I met a woman who was born in England on a day after my birthday, but we decided with time changes we must be twins. But we weren't really, because I kept a youthful attitude. And at 30, she started talking about being old. I'm too old for this, and I'm too old for that. She was popular and had a great community, but it was interesting to hear her talk about how old she was. You're as old as you feel. You're as old as you decide to be. I'm I am 16. Actually, I decided I have to be 18 so that my husband's not a lawbreaker. Embrace life, process your emotions, especially the difficult ones, and keep a positive, youthful attitude, and take care of your physical health with eating whole foods and getting your checkups, visiting your doctor. Your age is your mindset. Live a young life for a really long time. I'm Kit Cassingham, and if you're listening to this video anywhere other than my website, liveinfocusedenergy.com, pop over there and leave a comment. Feel free to leave a comment here too. I love interacting with my followers, my tribe. I'll talk to you later.